Addiction is not something to be ashamed of. And addicts are not people who are weak or who are wrong or who are bad or shameful. Addiction is actually a spiritual quest gone awry. Addiction says, the way I am experiencing this present moment, the frustration, the anger, the hopelessness, the boredom, is not actually what I should be experiencing, what I'd like to be experiencing, the only option of what to experience. And so addiction propels us out of that experience of the present moment that is troublesome, that is stuck in what we are angry about or upset about or frustrated about or in pain about. And it propels us into a not very skillful, not effective, not real, not lasting, but nonetheless temporary, chemical, superficial removal from the anger, the frustration, the pain of the present moment. It gives us that temporary, chemically induced option to not be in anger, in pain, in hopelessness, in frustration, in misery. Now, obviously, it doesn't work. All we end up with is a hangover, or worse, depending on what it is we're addicted to. We end up in worse trouble than we were before we drank, before we used drugs, before we engaged in the addiction. So it doesn't work. It doesn't actually heal the inner self. It doesn't actually show us on a deep level the real alternative. But it's a quest for that. It's a spiritual quest that says, I don't have to live in this anger, in this pain. I have an option. And again, the dilemma is the option is unskillful and doesn't last. But see it as actually a spiritual quest. It's the same thing that propels other people into a path that's actually much more skillful, much more lasting, a path of meditation, a path of introspection, a path of mindfulness, a path of devotion. Those are ways of transforming the present moment through something that actually works and lasts because it connects us not to a chemical high or a chemical numbing, but actually to the truth of who we are, to a love, to a peace, to a joy, to a connection that really is true within us. But the addiction, the call of the addict, is not a call of weakness, of escapism. It is that spiritual call that says, this moment that I'm experiencing, being stuck, is not my only option. So to all of those who are struggling with addiction out there, remember, there is nothing to be ashamed about. You're on a spiritual path. You're looking for something other than where you are stuck, where you are suffering. You're just looking in the wrong place. You're just looking in something that doesn't actually last, leaves you worse off than you were before, doesn't actually address anything. All it does is temporarily take you out of it and then thrust you back in worse shape after a few minutes or a few hours. Instead, allow yourself to embark on a path of meditation, of mindfulness, of devotion, of service to others, that's actually going to connect you with a source of joy and of peace in your life that's going to last. There's not going to be a hangover. There's not going to be a half-life. You're not going to need to take more immediately. It's going to actually show you the real possibility of not only a bearable and livable present moment, but actually a beautiful and blissful present moment. But first, stop feeling ashamed. Stop feeling weak. You've got the right intention. It's just the wrong path. So change paths. And I know it's not easy. I've struggled with it personally. But help is there. Help is there outside, and help is also there inside. In that higher, truer, deeper, divine self of yours. So grab for that help. The help outside, treatments, therapists, counselors, spiritual teachers, and grab for the help inside of your own truer, higher, real self.